We'll give it another minute and see who else we have coming in, and then we'll begin. Bear with me for one moment, please, if you don't mind. She'll have to just wait. Never mind. It's okay. Okay, I will begin. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Council Board Liaison Committee. Wednesday, April 30th. The Richmond Board of Education acknowledges and thanks the First Peoples of the Hunkaminam language group, on whose traditional and unceded territories we teach, learn, and live. We've got to think we're going to have a beautiful day here today. If I could have someone move a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'd like to make a couple of additions to the agenda, if I may.
Okay.
I'd like to add the adolescent health survey. And
where do you want? Where would you like that?
Do it as like item number 3.5.
Okay.
And item 3.6, recycling and solid waste management report.
Adolescent. So the first one was adolescent
health survey.
And 3.6
is the recycling and solid waste management report.
And okay, so you're moving. Can I have somebody second, please? You have, okay. All right. And a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting.
So moved.
Thank you. Okay, we'll begin with our standing items. Traffic Safety Advisory Committee update. We have, I think that's Sonali. Is Sonali here from the city to give us a traffic safety advisory?
Sorry, Sonali's unavailable, and I believe Bill Dollywell was supposed to be attending in her absence, but I don't see him here. So maybe we can skip that and I'll send him a note.
He was having trouble connecting.
Oh, okay.
There was a message popped up and said, Bill said he's having trouble connecting.
Okay.
I had trouble too. From my calendar, it said forbidden. I had to go back to the email. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So how about if I move on to the childcare update and we can come back to that? Would that work for everyone? Do we have
Sure.
Chris here?
Chris has got a conflict today, so I'll just give everyone an update today for childcare.
Okay, thank you.
It's rather short. Thank you, Heather. Just to let everyone know, childcare month is the month of May. So we have the childcare symposium. That's the symposium that the city works with the childcare advisory committee to put on. That will be this Saturday for childcare providers in the morning. There's also an art exhibit that is over at the Cultural Center that will be displaying children's artwork for the month of May. So information has been distributed to all of our childcare providers. There will be social media posts with regards to promoting the month as well.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Does anybody have any questions? No, see none. Okay, now you said it's Bill that's coming in. If he can get in, hopefully. I don't see yet, so we'll move on to the Joint School District and City Richmond Program Committee. And I think we have Director of Instruction, Jazz Johal.
Rav, thank you, Heather. So again, we just want to appreciate the ongoing collaboration between the city and school district, and you'll see in the package minutes from the January 16th program committee meeting. At this meeting, the district's manager of Feeding Futures provided an update on food security initiatives within the school district, as we're in year 2 of year 3 with Feeding Futures funding. City staff continue to provide a wealth of educational and volunteer opportunities for students across Richmond, as noted in the tree planting activities and participation in nature park programs, through volunteer recruitment in Richmond schools, which when we receive these opportunities, we share them out with schools, specifically with career information advisors in most cases, but also sometimes with counseling and administrative teams. We saw that 75 teen volunteers are supporting a number of library programs, and a number of these volunteers help to thoughtfully plan programs for their peers and develop communication strategies through a very robust and active ambassador program. We do note that there will be future opportunities for participation and volunteering with summer program planning as well. As noted in the minutes, there was a successful partnership with delivering an after-school basketball program at 2 elementary schools for a couple of months earlier in 2025. And the district's community schools coordinator continues to be active and connecting with city staff in multiple community centers to explore further partnerships for after-school programming. So that's a high-level update. More information is in the package. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have any questions or comments from anyone? No? Okay. Nothing yet. I don't see Bill. Okay, so we'll move on to 3.5, which is the adolescent health survey that Alexa would like to bring forward.
Thank you. A month or two ago, our staff brought forward, in conjunction with our youth strategy draft update, which I'm sure you guys were, it went to public consultation, and you guys probably had some input onto that. But the adolescent health survey asked Richmond students sort of how they're feeling, how they're doing, what their perception is of their physical health, mental health, that sort of thing. It's a project done by Middle Years Development, I believe. So it's I think it's through Vancouver Coastal Health. Anyway, it sort of brought to mind how we're working together. The school board, the City of Richmond is working together to look after our youth and our adolescents and create better opportunities for them. And one of the things that came to mind for me is when my son first started in grade 8 at Steveston, London, Mr. Ververgaard, the phys ed teacher, he spoke and he said that they do fitness testing at the beginning and end of every year, and that they're finding that when kids come back to school, they have lower physical scores than at the end of the school year. So despite being away all summer, being able to go bike and hike and run and swim and do all the things that we would have done in summer and probably come back stronger and fitter and healthier, our kids are not coming back. So I'm wondering if the school board can get that data from some of those teachers that are doing that and share it with the city. And and keeping it obviously on a, what's the word I'm looking for? Where we don't know the individual's names. Confidential, yes. Confidential, and where you take we just want the data. We don't need the names and addresses of everyone. We don't want to go in. It's not a witch hunt. And so then maybe we can work together with the school board and with our youth advisory committee on coming up with activities in the summer that are what kids really want to do, that will help them be more physically active throughout the summer and developing their skills and physical scores.
Any comments or questions? Go ahead, Trustee Sargent.
Thanks very much. Well, I'm sure our staff can add something to that. I'm just wondering, the city offers a lot of summer programming as well. And I'm wondering if you do, surveys at the end of the program, or I'm sure you must also gather some feedback, whether what you're offering is what the youth want. And I'm wondering, do you have any of that information? Because I think that'd be helpful. And then we also do summer programming, and I know we do surveys. So I don't know if Chris wanted to update or say something about that, but maybe we can, bring all that information perhaps to each other.
Yeah.
And see if we're hitting the mark as far as what we're offering. I think it's a valid and good point. It's not just the academic summer learning that we want to make sure we're taking care of, but their health and well-being too. Thanks, Alexa. Councillor Lee.
Yes. So yes, I believe we have our data from how successful or unsuccessful in terms of registration, but because we don't actually run them through any physical drills, so I think if we can just have that next level of information. And so the adolescent health survey, probably if the school board doesn't have it yet, it will be shared with you so that you'll have a greater idea of how our kids are doing in addition to everything that you do.
Superintendent Yusi, go ahead.
Well, thank you very much, through the chair. Thank you very much for that excellent suggestion. Maybe I can invite Assistant Superintendent Thompson to comment on this, because I think there's certainly merit in what's been suggested here. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Yes, through the chair, happy to respond on a couple of things. So the middle years index is provided through the Help Institute at UBC, and we do get access to school district specific reports and provincial, similar to what the city has access to. I think it's a great question to ask in terms of, is there more data we could be sharing for program planning? And so I see a natural connection between the work that Director of Instruction Joe Hall and Mr. Miller from the city do in terms of that constant communication. So I think this is a good takeaway potentially for that committee to look at, in addition to the high level data instruments, which would be the McCreary Adolescent Health Survey, as well as the MDI. What is our community specific fitness information that we might be able to layer on to help tailor those summer opportunities? So I think absolutely good suggestion, and I would sort of defer it down for those folks to continue that conversation. Director Joe Hall, I don't know if there's anything you want to add at this time.
Thank you, Assistant Superintendent Thompson. Yeah, so the BC Adolescent Health Survey takes place every 5 years. So the last administration was 2 years ago, and that does occur in partnership with BCH. So public health nurses work with each of the secondary schools and some select elementary schools to administer that survey in grades 7 through 12. So we are very familiar with that data, and district staff routinely reviews the data. It's some of the conversational points with students in some of the different student forums that we have to review that data and get student perspectives on what's in there. The MDI, as referenced previously, so that is administered every other year, and that's only in grade 5 and grade 8 classes. This current year, we did administer the MDI in all of our elementary and secondary schools, just in grades 5 and grade 8. So the results are, I believe, were actually just released to us this morning. So we will have information that we're able to share in terms of community level reports. I know earlier I just referenced the program committee meeting from January, and I know in our next meeting this year we'll talk about the April meeting. But one thing that we did discuss is just with some of the vast array of summer active options that are available to children and youth, how can we communicate that effectively with families? Just because I think there's some really good opportunities at a really good price point. I think even there's a summer fee subsidy, I believe, that's annually available. So we did talk about how do we get that communication out in a timely fashion to all of our families heading into the summer, so that they're able to engage children and youth in, whether it's swimming, mini golf, or I guess a pitch and putt. There's a whole array of activities that we can engage children and youth in, so that when they do arrive to school early in the fall, that they're hopefully in maybe not necessarily peak top physical condition, but ready to engage in an appropriate way.
If I may just quickly add to Rav's comments there, thanks very much for introducing that there, Rav specifically referring to the $29 summer active pass. a low-cost option available to children and youth age 5 to 18 that gets unlimited access all throughout the summertime to public swimming, skating, pitch and putt golf, as well as drop-in opportunities at all of our community centers. And so a great way to get children and youth active throughout the summer. Of course, communicating that about that pass and the benefits of that pass is something that we're always working on, and as Rav noted, looking to improve our communications to families this coming year. I'll go back to comments from Trustee Sargent just to touch on that real briefly as well. Certainly the city does track data with regards to our programs, with regards to registration, demand for various programs. We also work very closely with youth through our youth development coordinators and our youth outreach workers to connect with youth and understand, what it is that they're looking for, and work with youth to be able to plan programs that will help meet their needs. This additional survey and data that we are talking about would be certainly very helpful for us in our planning processes, and we'd love to connect and be able to look at that information to help inform our planning.
Thank you. Go ahead, Donna.
Thank you so much. I really love the idea of the pass, and I'm wondering if there's a way that we can help put that communication out too. We do have access to all of our families, and I think that would be a really, I'm not sure everybody knows that, and I'm wondering if you do any translation around that pass. But again, I'd ask our superintendent, perhaps there is a way to share that. The $29 pass for the whole summer to go wherever you would like is really fantastic. Thank you for caring about our youth too. But again, that translation, and then over to Chris, perhaps. Thanks.
If I may, thank you, Trustee Sargent. Through the chair, our communications director is on this call, David Sadler, and I think anything we can do certainly to disseminate information to our families is mutually beneficial. So we'll take that away, and certainly excellent suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So we do have Bill here, but his camera's not working, so he can give us a verbal update on the Traffic Safety Committee.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Just a brief summary of our last TSAC meeting. One of the items that was brought up was a bulletin postcard that city staff are proposing to distribute to schools. We'll coordinate with school board, ICBC, and VCH to distribute these. And we're most likely looking at distributing these in the fall of 2025. These pamphlets and bulletins will include resources for school regarding traffic safety tips for staff, students, and parents. A couple other just minor items that came up during the meeting were just a couple of elementary schools that had issues with the usual traffic congestion drop-off pickup, and we'll work with the school board to find some solutions for these issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do I have any questions or comments? Okay, thank you, Bill. Seeing none, Alexa will come back to you now with 3.6, the recycling.
Thank you. So Monday night, Council just approved our Recycling and Solid Waste Management Report 2024, exploring new ways to reduce waste. One of the things that it touched on is our bike recycling pilot program. So every week, about 10 to 15 bikes are dropped off at the Linus Lane Center. And Council was hoping that we could divert some of that from landfill, get them fixed up and into the hands of people that need them. So we spent quite a bit of money, close to maybe $100,000, on a pilot program where a group from outside of Richmond came and took the bikes, assessed them, fixed them up, and got them into the hands of people that needed them, or stripped them of parts and then recycled the rest of it. We haven't had the full report back yet, but it looked like only about less than 20 bikes were actually made available to people after fixing them. So despite so many bikes being dropped off, there weren't really that many. But I understand from talking to Ms. Bovey at Steveston, London, she's the shop teacher, and she also goes back and forth. I guess she's also shared with McRoberts, but she recycles bikes and she fixes them up, and then they take some of the used bikes and they make go-karts or something out of them. And I believe McNair has a similar program. So council would love to have a program where we're supporting a Richmond a student-led program to support this. And I understand from speaking with Ms. Bovey that one of the challenges too was finally get a bike put back together and they give it to someone, but if they're giving it to someone from a low-income family or someone who needs it, they also need things like helmets and locks. So, council certainly keen to get kids on bikes and to get them, with helmets and locks and whatever else they need, and to support the schools if they're doing programs like this. So our thing hasn't come out yet, and I don't know that we want to go out to, something as formal as a request for a proposal, that sort of thing. But I think there's an opportunity here to work together and create a program together that's, affordable and makes sense for what the school board and the schools can provide and engage kids into helping fix bikes for each other.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments? Go ahead, Donna.
Well, I just don't want to leave it at that. I really appreciate the money and the pilot. I'm not sure you will be able to continue that, but that's up to you. But really appreciate trying. I think there has to be some synergy there, and I'm thinking about the bike stores and everything like that too. Of course, someone has to take the lead on it. I'm just wondering, without putting our staff in it, where would this discussion say happen from our end? And I'll pass it over to Chris. I'm sure we don't have solving the issue now, but just don't want to lose the thought of the idea. I think it has a lot of merit. Appreciate your initiative as a city. Thanks.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Through the chair, thank you again for another excellent suggestion. This is one of those, please, with your indulgence, that we need to take up, take away and look into this. So staff will look into this and see how, how viable and where those connections exist. Certainly that benefits students, learning and engagement is always a good thing. So, but let's take it offline and just do some probing and see how we can support such, and if in fact there is the opportunity to do so, we need the time to look into this and address some of those questions that our schools might want us to address. So staff will an undertaking to look into this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
And of course, our staff is available to maybe help you stick handle where, a request for funding for that kind of program would come from. Because like I said, I think council there's a general appetite to support something like this. And the current program isn't working the way we'd hoped it would. And we'd really much prefer to be doing something that's much more organic with the school.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, we're on to item 4, any new business arising in new business. We didn't see any. Okay, so our next meeting date is September the 10th at 9:30. And if I could have someone move to adjourn. Thank you, Donna, and seconded by Alexa. Thank you very much. And we'll see you shortly for our closed meeting. Go ahead, Miriam. Did you? Oh.
Sorry, I was just saying goodbye.
Oh, okay. Thank you.